right, we have an update on a story that we talked about 6 months ago, and I love this story. 6 months ago, we talked about a gentleman by the name of Eric Williamson. He was arrested in his home because he was drinking coffee in his kitchen in the Nude, and a woman was walking by with her son, and she happened to see him. Okay, so he was arrested for it. Now we have a video that will tell you what the outcome of his arrest was.
I can't wait for this.
Virginia, where a man got international attention for walking around naked in his own home. The guy says he just wanted to enjoy his morning cup of coffee. Next thing you knew, he was arrested, charged with indecent exposure. Now the battle over what you can do in your own home is over, at least for that guy. Fox 5's Beth Parker live in Fairfax with the verdict. Beth?
Well, Brian, the jury deliberated for less than 20 minutes. They returned to the courtroom and declared Eric Williamson not guilty. In fact, one juror says she had a hard time not laughing during some of the testimony.
It was easy, you know.
It was easy. That's what one juror told us about the decision to find Eric Williamson not guilty of indecent exposure. But it has not been easy for Williamson. Police entered his Springfield home with guns drawn last October. He spent months fighting the charge in court, and today...
Oh, gosh, relief. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Weight off my shoulders after 6 months of this. It's unbelievable.
Williamson acknowledges he was naked inside his home on the day in question, something he says he'll be more careful about now.
I was not interested in exhibiting myself to anybody on the street, but in hindsight, absolutely. Now that that's happened, I won't have an open window in my house.
Yvette Dean says she made eye contact with Williamson, who was standing naked in the doorway as she walked with her son to school. She testified that she gave him the finger and had to shelter her son from view. Williamson testified he never saw them and was busy drinking coffee and packing to move out of the house.
I love the
correct response, which was his response, was to say, gee, I would have put my pants on and walked outside and apologized to her for, because I didn't realize she was out there.
A judge convicted him in district court. The appeal to circuit court brought with it a jury. Indecent exposure requires the government to prove intent. One juror said the prosecutor did not do that.
But people from the community are important to sit in judgment of people, not prosecutors, not judges, not police officers, because absent these people from the community, he'd have this conviction over his head for the rest of his life.
Now, Williamson says that the charge has created issues in the custody of his daughter and also cost him his job. He has been living in Newport News. He hopes to get this expunged so that he has a clean record. As for his accuser, she testified in court today, but she has chosen not to speak to the news media. Live in Fairfax, I'm Beth Parker.
A quick question for you. What about the prosecutors in this case? If it took a jury less than 20 minutes to make a decision and it maybe racked this guy's life, do they have any second thoughts about even bringing a case like this?
Well, they won in district court initially, and they had a victory on every single motion that the defense filed in this case. So they were doing quite well as it moved through the process. But once it got to circuit court and got before a jury, that's when they got in trouble.
Beth Parker, live tonight in Fairfax.
I mean, there's so many parts of that story I love. First, the initial confrontation with the woman and the guy. The guy's like oblivious. He's in his own house. He's making coffee. He doesn't know what's going on with this lady. And this lady's like, oh, yeah. And then she gives him the finger. And he's like, I don't think he even saw the finger, according to him, right? And then she's like, shields her son, like, don't look at the penis, right? He wasn't until you panicked. And then she's like, I saw him eye to eye. I saw his one-eyed worm. And it was staring at me in the eyes. And I kept looking and looking and looking. And I thought, that is nasty and naughty. Why are you showing it to me?
Ew, Jake! Jeez.
And then the cops go in, guns drawn. Why?
I know.
Was it that big? Was it that big a danger? They're like, oh, dude, we heard about this guy, man. Jesus. This whole community's in trouble. Guns drawn. Okay. We heard you were naked, sir.
In your own house.
In your own house. Now, finally, the thing that really gets me is, in lower court, he lost. The judge convicted him. Said, yes, you were guilty of being naked inside your own house. What the fuck else would I be naked? Well, I mean, what?
I think the woman did everything she could to make it seem like he was doing it on purpose. Like he was at the windowsill, like, pressing his penis against the window or something. And she was making it seem that way.
I know, but when you actually went to the jury, and that's why we have a jury of our peers, and that's what I love about America, then they're like, no, the guy wasn't like swang, wang, wang. He was making coffee.
Right.
This whole thing's absurd. Let him go. Let him go.
Maybe Williamson should sue that woman for psychological distress.
Think about it.
Because now he's worried in his own home. He has to have the windows closed at all times.
You read my mind, and I'm not lying to you. And I said this before when we first did this story. I would go so far over the top with this type of stuff. But maybe because I'm a little disappointed in how he came out all like apologetic, even though he got, he was acquitted from everything now. He's like, if I'd have known, man, I would have done that. Or I guess I'm going to have to close my curtain. No, fuck that. No, don't do any of that. Continue to do what you normally do. In fact, do it over the top. And I'm telling you, I'd come so hardcore the rest of these motherfuckers with everything they're doing. If they're walking by, like, oh, she gave me a middle finger. That's you know what? I'm distressed. I'm distraught. What does that mean? What do you want me to do? Oh, my God. I mean, I'd be so torn up over this. Now that I don't have a job in this guy's situation, it'd be my job to screw up her life as much as possible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude. And I don't know, you got to think twice about this type of stuff. And you can't come out there and act like it's kind of your fault. Yeah, I do kind of walk around naked, but I shouldn't have done it.
I got a couple ideas. You guys are being civil about it, thinking going to lawsuit and stuff. First, I was thinking, you got to press your balls up against the window. Okay, like every time she walks by, be like, oh, what's up? What's up? Right? And then your ass a little bit, fog up that window.
Oh, God.
But then I had a different idea. You know what? She came to your house. You should go to our house. Sit on the sidewalk with a pair of binoculars. Okay? The minute she gets naked for the shower, I saw her tits. I saw her tits. I had to shield my eyes. Okay, I'm taking her ass to court. Guns drawn. Guns drawn. I saw her boobs. Guns drawn. Okay, she's a menace to society.
My favorite part of the story is definitely when she gave him the middle finger.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part, especially since he had no idea.
Why are you looking into his house in the first place, lady? I mean, she's like, oh, what's going on inside that house? Oh, that's a dick.
What does his son think of that middle finger?
Yeah.
What are you teaching your kid? I mean,
that you should look into people's houses looking for dick?
And then throw a middle finger. What does that mean? This kid's going to be distraught. He saw your mom get the middle finger.
All right, can you get the sense that we're on the guy's side in this case and not really on the side of the woman who called the cops on him? Okay, I think you got that sense. All right, what's next? No, I got to take a break, man. I got to cool down.
Okay.
Release too many cracks.
Apparently this penis story got Cenk a little hot.
What's with me getting excited over the penis stories?
I don't know. It happens every time without failing.
Think about it. Think about it. All right, Young Turk.